She found him with another man, and everything changed. Amma stood outside room 412, hand trembling. 3 months of lies led here. She pressed her ear to the door. Silence. Then a voice, deep, male. Not her husband's. Her stomach twisted. She turned the handle. The door opened. A Korean man sat on the bed, calm, waiting. His dark eyes locked onto hers like he'd been expecting her all along. Marcus, her husband, stood by the window, face drained of color. The stranger smiled. She stepped back slightly, and that was the moment her marriage ended. Welcome back to Afro-Korean storytelling, my love. Please subscribe if you haven't. Like and comment where you are watching us from. That is the only way you support this channel. Marcus started coming home late 3 months ago. Every single night. Amma would wait at the dinner table. Jollof rice going cold. 9 p.m. became 10 p.m. Then midnight. He'd kiss her forehead, quick, mechanical. Mumble about client meetings. At this time, she'd asked. In Port Harcourt? It's complicated, baby. You wouldn't understand. Then came the phone calls. Balcony whispers. Deleted messages. She checked his phone once while he showered. Dozens of deleted threads, all from one contact. K. Just the letter K. You're paranoid, he'd laughed when she asked. K is a business associate, Korean investor. Then why delete everything? Confidentiality. Another empty kiss. Trust me. But trust was bleeding out. He stopped touching her, looked past her, checked his phone mid-conversation like she was background noise. What Amma didn't know yet was that Kay wasn't just an investor. He was something far more dangerous. 2 weeks ago, 2 a.m., she heard him whispering in their bedroom. I'll handle it. She won't find out. I promise. Amma froze in the hallway, cup in hand, blood turning ice. Next morning at breakfast. Where are you going tonight? Marcus didn't look up. Dinner meeting. With Kay? His fork paused, just for a second. Yes. That night, 7 p.m., Amma called an Uber. Follow that Range Rover. Stay back. The driver raised an eyebrow. Madam, this no be Nollywood. Just follow him, please. They drove through Rumuo Koro, past industrial estates, into an upscale area she didn't recognize. The Meridian Hotel. Expensive. European. Marcus's Range Rover pulled into the lot. Amma's heart dropped. A hotel. Another woman. It had to be. She walked inside, hoodie up, head down, straight to the elevators. 4th floor, room 412. She took a breath, opened the door, and froze. No woman, no mistress, no affair. Just the man. Calm, waiting. Korean, early 30s, sharp jawline, dark hair, expensive suit. But it wasn't his appearance that made her breath catch. It was the stillness. 2 bodyguards by the window, Korean, expressionless, watching her with focus that made her skin crawl. And Marcus, her husband, stood between them, genuine fear in his eyes. Not guilt, not shame, fear. Amma, Marcus started. Sit, the stranger interrupted. Marcus sat, immediately, like a trained dog. Who are you? The man smiled. My name is Kang Min-jun. Your husband owes me money. He paused. And you're my collateral. Amma looked at Marcus. What is he talking about? 3 months ago, Min-jun interrupted, your husband came to me for a loan. 200 million naira. Oil contracts, he said. Very profitable. Amma's stomach dropped. I gave him the money. With terms. Min-jun's smile widened, but Marcus gambled it all away. Don't! I know about Golden Palace Casino, the sports betting, the woman in Lagos. I know everything. A woman in Lagos. Gambling. Millions. When your husband couldn't repay me, Min-jun continued, I told him I'd take his house, his cars, his business. Pause. His wife. The word hung like poison. Just an arrangement, Min-jun added. You spend time with me. He keeps his life. Everyone benefits. Amma's voice came out broken. Marcus, you agreed to this? Marcus stared at the floor. I didn't have a choice. You had a choice, her voice cracked. Before you took the money, before you gambled it, before you traded your wife like property. By selling me? 7 years. 7 years of supporting him, believing him. And this was her worth. Collateral. Get out, Amma said. Baby, please. I said get out. Marcus looked to Minjun, actually asked permission with his eyes. That was it. The final break. Minjun nodded. Marcus left. The door clicked shut. But what Minjun said next would change everything. Amma stood there, surrounded by strangers, her life collapsing. Sit, Minjun said. Amma's voice came out hoarse. What happens now? Minjun poured whiskey. 2 glasses. Held one out. Now we talk about what you want. What I want? She almost laughed. You just said I'm part of some deal. Your husband made a deal, Minjun corrected. I'm asking what you want to do about it. Amma stared at the glass, at this stranger who'd just destroyed her world. She took it. The whiskey burned. Amma wasn't a drinker, but tonight the burn felt necessary. Minjun refilled her glass. You're calmer than I expected. I'm in shock, Amma corrected. There's a difference. He smiled. Fair enough. Do you want the full story, or keep hating your husband in ignorance? Tell me everything. 3 months ago, Marcus came to my Victoria Island office, nervous, sweating. He needed 200 million. Showed me paperwork, oil block contracts, international partners. Impressive. Minjun's expression didn't change. All fake. You gave him the money anyway? I did due diligence. The companies confirmed negotiations. Pause. What I didn't know, Marcus had called them himself, different voices, confirming his own lies. Amma's hand flew to her mouth. He faked everything? The company exists, but the contracts? Fiction. He gambled every naira. Golden Palace Casino, lost millions in 1 week. Then sports betting, 2 months, 200 million, gone. Amma felt sick. When he realized what he'd done, he took money from 5 other people. Colleagues, friends, family, same lie. Used it all chasing losses. Oh God! Amma set her glass down. How many people? 5. Millions each. Minjun's eyes hardened. Then he ignored my calls, pretended the debt didn't exist. So you came here. I had my people bring Marcus to this room 2 weeks ago, asked him simply, "Where's my money?" He cried, begged, but his accounts had nothing. The house is mortgaged, cars on loans. He had nothing. So you asked for me? No. Minjun leaned forward. He offered you. What Amma heard next was worse than she could have imagined. What? I told him I'd take everything. He'd be homeless but debt-free. You know what he said? What if I give you something better? What if you could have my wife? Amma couldn't breathe. He pitched it like business, Minjun said. Open marriage. You'd spend time with me, dinners, events, whatever I wanted. I'd get companionship. He'd keep his assets. Everyone wins. He sold me. He actually sold me. He tried. I said I'd think about it. Minjun stood, walked to the window. Then I had him followed. And? Straight back to Golden Palace, lost 3 more million from your joint savings. Minjun turned. He also visited a woman in Lagos, 2 nights, gave her 500,000 for rent. Lagos woman. Not just gambling, cheating too. Yesterday I told him I'd accept the arrangement. 200 million forgiven for you. And he agreed. Immediately. Minjun's expression darkened. Asked when you'd start, like you were a car he was leasing. Amma stood, walked to the window, arms wrapped around herself. 7 years believing she mattered, was loved, was valued. All lies. The open marriage was his idea, she said quietly. Not yours. Completely his. I would have just taken his assets. Minjun stood beside her. But when he offered you, I became curious. What kind of woman stays with a man like that? I saw it, Amma whispered. I just didn't want to believe it. And now? She looked at him. This stranger, this dangerous man who destroyed her world with truth. Now I don't know what to believe. She thought the worst was over. It wasn't. Minjun studied her. Your husband's coming back. I told him 30 minutes. He thinks you'll have agreed by then. What do you think I'll do? I think, Minjun said slowly, you're about to surprise him. 30 minutes to decide. Marcus expected compliance, but she felt something crack. Not her heart. That had broken. Something deeper. That part shattered completely. I need to sit, Minjun gestured. Amma sank into the chair. I'm fine. You're not, Minjun observed. But you will be. Amma laughed. How can you know that? Because you followed him tonight. You acted. Women who act don't stay broken. Minjun sat across from her. Women who wait, they break. But you're angry. He was right. Beneath shock, beneath pain, rage simmered. I gave him everything, Amma whispered. I supported his ideas, defended him to my family, took care of everything so he could build his career. Her voice cracked. And this is what I was worth. A bargaining chip. Less than that, Minjun said. A chip has value. He saw you as disposable. The Lagos woman. How long? 8 months. 8 months. He'd been cheating before his life fell apart. Does she know about me? Yes. He told her you were separating. Marriage over. Just paperwork. He's been promising to leave you since April. April. Their anniversary. Genesis restaurant. He'd lied to her face while planning his exit. But Minjun wasn't finished revealing Marcus's lies. This arrangement was never going to work. Even if you agreed, he would have kept gambling. Kept lying. Kept seeing that woman. Men like Marcus don't stop. They escalate. Why tell me this? Because in 20 minutes he walks through that door. He'll apologize, cry, promise to change. Minjun's eyes locked on hers. And you need to decide right now if you believe him. I don't believe him, she said finally. I never will again. Good. Minjun stood, pulled water from the minibar, handed it to her. Drink this. You've had enough whiskey. She took it. Why do you care if I'm drunk? Because I want you clear-headed when you decide. What decision? You made a deal. I made a deal with a coward who trades human beings. That doesn't mean I'll honor it. Minjun sat. I'm giving you a choice. A real one. What choice? You can leave. Walk out right now. File for divorce. Start over. I'll still collect from Marcus. But you won't be part of it. You have my word. And if I stay? You stay as yourself. Not payment, not property. I'm not asking you to be with me. I'm asking if you want to watch him lose everything he took for granted, including you. Revenge. Cold. Calculated. What Amma didn't realize yet was that Minjun had his own reasons for this generosity. You want me to hurt him. I want you to stop being invisible. Minjun tilted his head. Your husband made you disappear, erased you from his real life, reduced you to obstacle, then transaction. I'm offering you a chance to remind him you exist. Amma's hands stopped trembling. Panic faded, replaced by something harder. He's coming soon, Minjun said. 10 minutes. You need to decide. Amma looked at Minjun. This dangerous stranger who'd been more honest in 1 hour than her husband in months. What do I do? Minjun smiled. Whatever you want. The knock came exactly 10 minutes later. Amma's body tensed. Minjun didn't move, just watched her. Come in, he called. The door opened. Marcus stepped inside, face blotchy, eyes red. Baby, he started. I'm so sorry. Sit down, Marcus, Minjun interrupted. Marcus hesitated. Obeyed. Sat on the bed. Amma, Marcus tried. I know this looks bad. Looks bad. Words exploded from her. You traded me, offered me to a stranger for gambling debts. I was desperate. I didn't know. You could have told me the truth. Amma stood. 3 months of lies, Marcus. You came home pretending everything was fine while you gambled away millions, while you cheated, while you planned to trade me. I wasn't thinking. No, you were thinking about yourself, only yourself. Her voice shook with rage. When did you stop loving me? When did I become worthless? Marcus's face crumbled. I never stopped. Don't. Don't you dare say you love me after this. I made mistakes. Mistakes? She laughed. Gambling away 200 million naira? Cheating 8 months? Selling me for debts? That's not mistakes, Marcus. Choices. You chose this. Marcus looked helplessly at Minjun. Minjun's expression stayed unreadable. Don't look at me. I'm not your wife. I don't owe you comfort. Amma, please. Marcus turned back. We can fix this. Counseling. I'll stop gambling. I'll cut off blessing. Blessing? Amma's voice cracked. The Lagos woman has a name? It didn't mean... Stop talking! Silence. Even the bodyguard shifted. I don't care what it meant. I don't care about excuses. I care that you looked at 7 years and decided I was worth nothing. That's not... You gave me away, Marcus, like furniture. Her eyes burned, but she refused tears. So now I'll give you something. Marcus looked up, hope flickering. What? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. No forgiveness, no second chance, no wife, nothing. Hope died. Amma, you can't... Amma, I can't? She stepped closer. You tried to trade me to a loan shark and you're telling me what I can't do? Minjun stood, inserted himself between them. Marcus, listen for once in your miserable life. Marcus shrank. I was just trying to manipulate her. Again. You're very good at it. Fake contracts, borrowed money, lies, 8-month affair. Impressive. I didn't mean... Yes, you did. Every single thing. You meant to gamble, meant to lie, meant to offer your wife. Own it. Marcus's mouth worked silently. Here's what happens, Minjun continued. 48 hours to gather 50 million naira. Reduced amount. I'm generous. 50 million? Marcus whispered. I can't. Then you lose everything. House, cars, business accounts. And before you think about running, I have people watching. Try to leave Port Harcourt, you'll be stopped. Permanently. The threat hung clear. What about Amma? Marcus asked. The arrangement? There is no arrangement. Your wife's not for sale. Never was. The fact you thought so tells me everything. Marcus looked at Amma desperately. Baby, please, come home. We can figure this out. No, I'm not coming home. I'm not figuring anything out with you. I'm done. We're done. You don't mean... I do. Saying it felt like breaking chains. I'm leaving, filing for divorce. You deal with your debts, your lies, your consequences. Alone. Marcus stood abruptly. You can't just leave. Our vows. For better or worse. You already left, Amma said quietly. You left when you chose blessing, when you gambled our future, when you offered me to him. She gestured at Minjun. I'm just making it official. Where will you go? Anywhere that isn't with you. Minjun opened the door. One bodyguard stepped forward. Marcus, leave now. Amma, 48 hours, Minjun reminded. 50 million. Clock starts now. Marcus looked between them, his wife, cold and unreachable, the man who owned his debt. His face twisted. He walked to the door, paused. I love you. Amma didn't respond, didn't look. Marcus left. Door clicked shut. Amma's knees buckled, sat down hard, strength draining. Done. 7 years ended in a hotel room with strangers as witnesses. Minjun poured water, handed it silently. Thank you, she whispered. For what? For stopping him. For time to think. For not making me go through with it. But Amma still didn't know what Minjun really wanted. I was never going to make you do anything. Minjun sat across from her. The arrangement was always a test, to see what kind of man your husband is, what kind of woman you are, and what kind am I? The kind who survives. Silence settled, heavy, loaded. Amma sat there, water bottle clutched, staring at nothing. What do I do now? Minjun studied her. What do you want to do? I don't know. I can't go home, his house, his name. I have nowhere. You have options. Do I? Amma looked up. My family will ask questions. My friends are his friends. I have some money, but not enough for rent deposits starting over. I've been dependent on him 3 years, since I quit my bank job for his business. You're not helpless, Minjun said. Dependent, yes, but not helpless. There's a difference. Minjun stood, walked to the window. I own several properties here, apartments. You can stay in one, rent-free, as long as you need. Amma's head snapped up. Why? Because your husband owes me money, not you. Because you didn't ask to be dragged into his mess. If I take it, she said slowly. What do you want? Nothing. Nobody gives free housing for nothing. I'm not giving it away. I'm offering shelter to someone in crisis. Consider it compensation. Your husband wasted my time. You wasted your evening dealing with his mess. We're even. Too simple. Too clean. But Amma was exhausted. She still wasn't sure if she could trust him. Okay, she whispered. Just tonight, until I figure something out. Take as long as you need. He pulled out his phone, typed quickly. Sending you the address. GRA furnished, utilities included, keys with building security. Tell them Mr. Kang sent you. Amma's phone buzzed. Government residential area. Most expensive neighborhood in Port Harcourt. This is too much. It's an empty apartment that cost me nothing. Minjun stood. Take it. Pride is expensive when you're homeless. What about Marcus? The 48 hours? That's between him and me. You're out of it now. Minjun gestured to one of his bodyguards. Choi will drive you. Make sure you get inside safely. The bodyguard, Choi, nodded once. Amma stood slowly. She grabbed her purse, checked for phone, wallet. Mrs. Okonkwo, Minjun said as she reached the door. She turned. It's just Amma now. I don't want his name. Something flickered in Minjun's eyes. Amma, then. He paused. Your husband will call. Many times. He'll beg. Promise. Try every manipulation. Block his number. I will. And if you need anything, legal help, financial advice, protection, call me. He held out a business card. Plain white, black text, name and number. Amma took it. Why are you helping me? Minjun smiled. Because watching your husband realize what he lost will be more satisfying than any money. And because you interest me, Amma. Most people break under pressure. You got angry instead. His words sounded kind. But his eyes held something else, something unreadable. Amma walked past him. Choi followed silently. She didn't look back at room 412. She walked to the elevator, to the apartment, to a future she couldn't see but knew would be hers. The apartment was bigger than expected. 2 bedrooms, floor-to-ceiling windows, modern furniture, pristine, untouched. Choi handed her the keys, bowed slightly, left without a word. Now Amma stood in the living room, alone for the first time since opening that hotel door. Her phone buzzed. Marcus. Again. Again. 17 missed calls in 10 minutes. She blocked his number like Minjun suggested. Buzzing stopped. Amma walked to the bedroom, sat on the edge of the bed. Finally let herself break. Tears came hard, violent, ripping from her chest in waves. 7 years. Gone. Because the man she trusted valued her so little he tried to trade her away. She cried until her throat was raw, eyes burned, nothing left but emptiness. Then she stopped, wiped her face, started making plans. 2 days passed. Found one, Bar, Nwankwo, specialized in high-conflict separations. Made an appointment for Monday. Opened a new bank account. Transferred what little she had from the joint account. 300,000 naira. Not much, but hers. Phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Amma, your husband missed the deadline. What does that mean? I'm taking his house today. Cars repossessed this morning. Business accounts frozen pending fraud investigation. Pause. He's also been arrested. Arrested? Nigerian Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Those 5 investors filed complaints, found evidence of fake contracts. He's looking at 8 to 10 years. Prison. I thought you should know, Minjun continued. He's blaming you, telling anyone who'll listen you abandoned him. Of course he is. He can't take responsibility for anything. No, men like Marcus never do. How are you managing? I'm managing. Have a lawyer. Filing for divorce next week. Good. Why do you keep helping me? The question hung. Because your husband took something from you. Years. Trust. Peace. I can't give those back. But I can make sure you land on your feet. Is that all? For now. I'm leaving Port Harcourt tomorrow. Business in Seoul. Back in a few months. The apartment's yours until then. Longer, if needed. Thank you, Amma said quietly. Your husband's family will come looking. Want answers. Want you to bail him out. Stand by him. Don't. I won't. Good. Stay strong. You've come this far. Call ended. Amma sat in silence. Marcus in custody. Assets seized. Lies exposed. Everything collapsing. And she felt nothing. No satisfaction. No vindication. No guilt. Just relief it was finally over. 6 months passed. Amma didn't recognize herself anymore. Not in a bad way, like a snake not recognizing its shed skin. She'd gotten a job at an oil and gas consulting firm. Project coordinator first. But her boss noticed quickly. Within 3 months, promoted twice. She made new friends, joined a book club, started gym at 6 a.m. before work. She learned what being valued felt like. Divorce finalized in February. Marcus didn't contest, couldn't, from prison. Judge granted a clean break. No alimony, no shared assets, just freedom. She kept the GRA apartment. Minjun texted once to confirm she was using it. When she offered to pay rent, he replied, "No need, it's yours." She didn't argue, and she thought about him sometimes. Not constantly, not obsessively. But late at night, when the city was quiet, she'd remember that hotel room. Remember how he'd given her a choice when Marcus tried to take all her choices away. What she still didn't know was what Minjun wanted in return. Phone rang on a Tuesday evening. Late June, unknown number. She almost didn't answer. Hello? Amma, I'm back in Port Harcourt. Her heart did something complicated. When did you get back? This morning. Wanted to give you time to settle before I called. Pause. Are you free for dinner tomorrow? She should say no. Should keep distance from a man as dangerous as Kang Minjun. Should protect the new life she'd built. But she didn't want to say no. Are you asking as equals? She said carefully. I'm asking as someone who wants to know how you've been, what you've built, who you've become. No games, no manipulation. Just honest curiosity. Amma looked at her reflection in the window. She looked different now. Stronger, sharper, alive in ways she hadn't been in years. Tomorrow at 7, she said, but I'm choosing the restaurant. Minjun laughed. I wouldn't have it any other way. Call ended. Amma stood there, phone in hand, heart racing. She didn't know what would happen tomorrow. Didn't know if dinner would lead to something dangerous or something real. Didn't know if Minjun was genuinely interested or still playing some game. But this time she'd walk in with eyes open. Not as someone being manipulated, not as someone desperate for rescue, but as someone who'd chosen her own path and survived. She thought about that night. The Meridian. Room 412. The moment Marcus's betrayal was laid bare. If she hadn't followed Marcus that night, she'd still be living the lie. Still making excuses for his late nights. Still erasing herself to make room for his failures. She'd still be married to a man who saw her as disposable. But she had followed him. And everything after, the pain, the anger, the liberation, had led her here. To a life messy and uncertain, but entirely hers. To a version of herself she actually recognized in the mirror. To freedom she hadn't even known she was missing. She didn't know it then, but following her husband that night saved her life. Was she right to walk away from Marcus? Or had she just traded one dangerous man for another?